Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Proof.
How's everybody doing? I go by the name of Sion 919. This is the Proof in the Pudding podcast show, and I'm excited about today, because we got the first time on the platform. We got a writer, director, actor, and filmmaker. I'm a big fan of his work. He's definitely doing a lot of things in the industry. So, without any further ado, let's welcome him to the stage. He goes by the name of Nelson J. Davis. How you feeling, brother?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. You out here working, man. You out here working.
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to do a little bit, trying to do what I can do. Appreciate you having me tonight.
It's definitely a pleasure.
So I want to add that in. I've been tuning in.
It's definitely a pleasure. I'm a fan of your work as well. So, it's an honor to have you up here. But for the people that may not know, they may not be familiar, let's let them know a little bit about yourself.
Okay, yeah, cool. My name is Nelson J. Davis. I'm an actor, filmmaker, film producer, do some writing. I just enjoy making films, whether it's me actually developing, creating a film, or just acting in it. I just love it. That's it in a nutshell.
And you're doing big things. So let me ask, how did you first fall in love with film?
Well, first I say that I fell in love with acting when I was probably in third grade. I was actually in drama club. And back then, we did plays. And I was like, I kind of like this acting, but much respect to the people that do stage plays, but I realized that wasn't for me. I like acting, but I'm more of a film guy. And I remember around the time, probably like a year later, I just started falling in love with visuals. Like I remember watching Belly. I had no business watching that back then, but I feel that film was ahead of its time as far as visuals.
Right.
So if you even look at some of my work, it looks like it might have been inspired by that. It's like the lighting and things like that. So Belly in the Matrix, that made me want to do film. So it's like I want to put that mixed with what I did in drama club. So I was like, okay, I like film, not the play. So that's kind of how that happened early on.
Okay, and that's the thing. I'm pretty sure it's been a process, and you learned a lot along the way. So, like, how did you first get into writing?
Oh man, I always liked writing. To be honest, like even in school, like back in the day when you had like creative writing time,
right?
That was like my favorite part of it. I always like to write stories and stuff like that. So it's kind of like I feel that everything came full circle because it's kind of like I fell in love with things separately, and then eventually it kind of all came together. It's like I like writing, I like acting, I like the visuals. So, as time progressed, it's kind of like, throw it all together, make some gumbo.
Right. It's definitely working. It's working out for you. So let me ask, what part of the process do you enjoy the most? Is it the writing, the filming, or the acting? Which part do you enjoy the most?
Man, that's really tough. That's really tough. I'm trying to answer it, though. I'm going to probably say the acting because it's very rewarding just being able to, become a character, whether I created the character or whether somebody else created it. I just like that part of the art, like just really evolving into a character. So I enjoy all aspects, but I'm gonna have to say that's my favorite part if I had to choose.
Okay. Yeah. That's real right there. So let me ask, what inspires some of your work? Like, how do you get in your creative process when you're coming up with a story or you're coming up with a script? What type of places do you draw your inspirations from?
Okay. Well, I like to teach a lesson in it, but I don't want to like shove it down someone's throat. It's kind of like I want to make it entertaining. So I usually try to come up with my concept like, okay, what do I want them to take away from this?
Right.
And then the next thing is, what's going to be the plot twist? Because anybody that's seen my films knows it's going to be a plot twist. So it's like, I got to work backwards. So it's like, okay, what's the end game? And then I work on how we going to get there. And then I got to have a sprinkle of, fantasy, but at the same time, it has to be relatable. Like, real things. Some of them might be over the top, but there's always somebody that can relate to it because there's some crazy things that happen in the world. So
definitely some crazy things. And that's the thing is like, I love the way that you do your movies. It's like, again, with the plot twists and stuff like that, it is relatable. It reminds me almost like the Zane stories. A lot of, the romance type of things, but it's like a visual type of spin to it. So that's dope right there. So let me ask, the first production, do you remember the first film you ever did?
I do. The first you're talking about like the first one that like I produced or one that I produced?
The first one you produced?
The first one that really counts is in Willing to See.
Willing to See.
Yeah. Wow. That's the first one that counts.
Okay.
I dabbled in the beginning, but that's the first one that counts.
Okay. So let me ask you, I'm pretty sure you done learned a lot over the years, right?
Yeah.
So definitely. All right, looking at your growth, like what were some of the challenges you faced during your first production?
Controlled environments.
When
you're on micro budgets, you shoot outside, for example. Like you gotta deal with cars, you gotta deal with the noise. So I had to like really get into my zone and come up with a formula where it's like, okay, I'm writing to certain locations that I can control, but still be entertaining. But I'd say that's the biggest obstacle. I think a lot of independent filmmakers might agree with that, as well. And a lot of them, I'll probably say, getting serious actors, and getting them to show up. But I can honestly say I never really encountered that because I think I was so blessed to meet such great people that it made it that much easier.
Right.
I've seen it happen time and time again, but that's not a roadblock that I've really run into.
Yeah, and that's a blessing in itself. So I see a lot of people, right? They pick up a camera and they think, oh, I'm gonna just shoot. Whether it's music videos, whether it's film, it's a lot that goes behind it, right? And one thing that I can say, watching your work, it looks professional. A lot of times, people might have creative ideas, but it kind of looked like you see they didn't have the budget. Your stuff looks like the stuff that's out there. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm pretty sure you learned some techniques and stuff over the years. Definitely. So it's like, how important is that? Because it's like a lot of times people just think, oh, I can just film. There's a lot that goes behind it. How much studying, how much learning did it take you to get where you are today?
In the beginning, it was almost 50-50. Like I did have to shoot some scenes, like the scenes that I wasn't in. So I did study like University of YouTube. Big up to a lot of music video producers. I would study that on YouTube to kind of figure out how to do the visuals.
Right.
But, things evolved. I've been blessed to connect with a lot of DPs and cinematographers that I can bring on. And it's like, you really got to let people do their passion. Like that's their passion is to do the visuals. So obviously they're going to know a lot more about that than me. So it's kind of like, okay, let people do what they do. I had to learn that instead of trying to do everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
But once upon a time, I did have to be behind the camera. But now, lately, I don't even touch the camera. It's like I have a good team.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. How important is that, having a team when you're trying to do a production? How important is the team?
It's very important. It's very important. It's not only about having a team, but having a team that's just as passionate as you and really wants to see the project succeed.
Right.
Wow. It's very important, and I always give kudos to the team. Yeah. Like shout out to the team. I have a big team. I don't even want to name drop it. They know what to the team. But I'm the first to tell anybody it's not just about me. It's about the team. You're only as strong as your team.
Yeah, and that's a fact. And when you see the finished work, you can tell like y'all definitely passionate about what you're doing. Y'all take your time and y'all really put your heart in it, and it comes across. And it's like, so salute to the team, salute to you on that. Let me ask you before we start playing the trailers and stuff like that, because you got a lot of movies, you got a long catalog. Let me ask too. All right, which one was the most challenging to make? And then I know you love them all. Which one did you enjoy making the most?
Man. You know, I'm gonna say that it's probably one and the same. To be honest, I want to say that Concealment was challenging because it was kind of like getting back in the swing of things. That was like my first project that I produced post COVID.
Right.
So it's kind of like, getting certain locations and making sure that everybody's comfortable and things like that.
Right.
But I met a lot of I worked with a lot of existing people as well as working with some people for the first time, and this is like the chemistry and just everything on that set was amazing. It was just fun.
Wow.
And it wasn't really any hiccups, and between that and he say she say, they almost tied in, and I say that to the team too. Like we have fun like shooting both of those. So
yeah, and that's dope right there. Now Concealment is one of my favorites. I'll say my favorite because it was the first one that introduced me. So I have a special love for Concealment, but it's like while I'm watching it, right? It was one of those things where it's like, you sucked me in the beginning, and then I didn't know about the plot twists and stuff like that. So I'm thinking it's going one way, then it switches up on me. So I'm like, yo, but the ending, when it all comes out, it's like, yo, I don't want to give it away. But it's like when the ending, that's something that happens every day. It's relatable and it makes you think like, yo, you're looking at it different now when you're hooking up with people. Like, hold on, what's their motive? What's the So we'll jump to that right quick and we'll talk a little bit about that because I definitely enjoy Concealment, and that's out right now, right?
Yes, sir. You can check that on Tubi right now.
Okay, so we jump to that and we'll talk about it when we come back. So we're gonna jump to the trailer, and this right here is Concealment.
Pay me to keep your secret.
This ain't the type of chick you want to mess around with.
So please help me help you.
It's measly compared to the damage that you know I can do.
What?
I'd like to talk to somebody about what I saw.
What you got?
What are you talking about?
Didn't I say get the fuck out?
You don't really mean that.
She's hiding something. I feel it in my gut.
When did we start blaming the victim?
Don't waste my time.
Yeah, man. I'm your boy, man. Look. What you hiding?
Please, I'm scared.
I'm saying it just seemed like the story's missing something.
And again, that's out now on Tubi. They can watch that for free. So I gotta ask you, what inspired that movie right there, man? Because it's like, yo, I'm telling you, it's like, yo, your mind. I'm like, yo, this is a sicko. He's a sicko. They even thinking of stuff, but it's genius. You get what I mean? It's like, yo, it's one of those movies that keep you drawn in. So what inspired that one, bro?
Oh man, again, it just kind of like I wanted to teach a lesson, but be entertained at the same time. I was just like, I don't even know. This is God's work sometimes. Like, it's just, to be honest, like these ideas, like they just come and I just really don't even know where they come from sometimes. But I'm just like, what if, that's how it started. It's like, what if, I don't want to give the movie away, but I'll say this part. What if, a couple had a friend and she tried to seduce both of them? Like, I wonder if that happens,
Right. And it comes back around, like, like I said, it had me it's sitting there. I'm reanalyzing everything now. Like, hold on, because it can happen. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes our past to come back on us.
Yeah.
So that was dope right there. So let me ask, when you wrote it, right? When you watch the final playback, when it's all done, once it's published, produced, and everything, how does that feel as a filmmaker watching your work go from a thought to the finished product?
Bro, it's amazing, really. Like, it's one of the most amazing feelings in the world, especially, you know, when it's a project that you can be really proud of. And, you know, it's sometimes, not to say I'm not proud of certain things, but sometimes you have your favorites, and Concealment just happens to be one of my favorites. So that one just has a special place with me. And it was amazing, you know, seeing it completed and everything. It's just like, wow. You know, I still look at that one sometimes like, wow, that's pretty dope. Like, not in a cocky way, but you know that one's pretty dope.
It is. It definitely is dope. So let me ask, because I see that you got it on Tubi and stuff like that. So how important is that? And how did you learn about getting the placements and stuff like that? How did you learn? Like on job training? Did you do a little research? How did you figure that part out?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I actually did, before I got in contact, you know, with the distribution company that I use, big ups to Maverick Entertainment, who puts out a majority of my films. I actually tried to contact Tubi directly like years and years ago, just before I really knew what exactly how distribution worked. And, you know, they was like, you know, we don't take content from filmmakers directly.
Wow.
Like, okay, cool. But they didn't even direct me to anybody. I just kind of took that and ran with it. And then, you know, years later, I was blessed to be in a film by the name of Secure the Bag. And Maverick Entertainment actually distributed that film. So it's like, okay, I went and produced my own film, Unwitting Deceit. So that, I think that kind of helped me get in the door there. It's like, okay, he's in this film that we put out, and it's kind of like how the relationship kind of
evolved.
So big ups to Nakia T. Hamilton for that.
Yeah.
We actually, just interjection, we actually doing Secure the Bag too. We just found that out yesterday. I just want to put that out there real quick.
All right.
That movie's always special to me because I feel like it started so much. Like that was the beginning for me with distribution.
That was the baby right there. So that's the thing, right? When we talk about Maverick Entertainment, Maverick Films and stuff like that, that's a big company.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's one of the things. It's like, okay, are you originally from North Carolina? Or are you currently in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I was under the impression. So when I'm saying, right, boom, North Carolina filmmaker, I'm excited about that for one. Like, yo, okay, boom, because you think Atlanta, you think about, you know, California, stuff like that. So I'm like, yo, they making films in North Carolina. A lot of people want to get into filmmaking and stuff, or films, not filmmaking. A lot of people want to get into films. So when I'm thinking, like I said, a lot of times you watch the YouTube. I'm a real independent movie type of person. If it's independent, I give it a shot. But the thing is, it's like, you might be with family, you might be with your significant other or something like that. The quality might not be there. So it's like you're trying to stick to the plot, and yo, you trying to, you know, give them a chance. I'm gonna work with them.
Right.
When I seen Maverick film, because like a lot of the films, a lot of indie films that I used to watch coming up, you know, probably over the last 10 years, a lot of Maverick films, Maverick Entertainment. So when I seen that, I'm like, wait a minute. Because like I said, I already was a fan of the work. So now when I see that Maverick stamp on it, like, oh, this is official.
Right.
So it's like, yo, it's almost like that cosign that, like, yo, pushes you in the door, because I was familiar with your name. But when I seen the Maverick Entertainment, I'm like, yo, wow, because I was familiar with Maverick. So it's like, yo, a lot of people, they don't know the importance of the distribution, and they don't know the process. So it's like, yo, it's a salute to you for doing that. So let me ask, when you're filming, right, when it goes down, when you're putting this together, you do the casting and stuff like that, how do you pick your locations? And how do you decide who I'm going to cast for these roles?
That's a very good question. Usually when I'm writing, most of the time, like 90% of the cast I already have in my mind, and as I'm sketching it out, I usually hit them up and ask them if they're interested.
Right.
No, and it's just like, because I'm blessed to be around so many talented actors, and I'm always wanting to work with new ones as well. It's kind of like I have a visual in my head, like if I've seen their work or if I've worked with them before, it's like, yeah, I see such and such as this character. I'm writing, you know, let me hit them up, see if they're interested. So they're like, yeah, no, or whatever the case may be. And then I just go to writing, you know. So that's kind of how my casting goes. I do casting calls every once in a while, like for, you know, some other roles. So I like to give other people a chance, but usually for the most pivotal parts, I usually have someone in mind for it.
Okay. So let me ask, right? Because like I said, you're doing the production, you're directing and stuff like that. How important was it having that acting experience, even as a child doing the plays and growing? Then you're doing the film, you're acting. How important was that, having that experience for the production side later?
I definitely think that a filmmaker could definitely, like, you know, be a filmmaker or producer without being an actor. However, I do think it sets me apart being that I'm an actor. I can relate to both sides. So when doing certain things, I keep the actor in mind. I'm gonna give you an example.
Right.
You see my work. Okay, so if we have, you know, like an intimate scene that you're gonna you know, show some skin.
Right.
I'm gonna make the schedule so we knock that out of the way. So you don't got to be like, oh, I'm about to starve myself for 2 days till we get to that. Like, just little things. That's just like the things that I can think of off top that I think that someone that's hasn't been an actor, they can't relate to that because they never been in that position. Like, oh, I'm trying to, you know, keep it tight. I only eat tuna fish and crackers, and you got me doing this scene. I'm showing everything. You got me shooting that on day 5. Why we can't do that on day 1?
Right.
Oh, just little things like that I think sets me apart from someone that hasn't actually been in those shoes.
Right. And that's the thing. Yo, I'm gonna tell you now, when you're doing your scenes, you do your scene. I ain't gonna put you out there, but yo, you do the scenes. It's almost like, yo, they really get, yo, all right. So, yo, let me ask, like, yo, how did you get that concept? And like, how is everybody comfortable? Because I'm pretty sure it's like, yo, the first time somebody's doing it, like, wait, they're a little shy. They may be a little prohibited at first. So how do you set the mood? How do you get them comfortable? Because it's like, yo, y'all really look like, it looks real. Most of the movies I've seen, it looks real.
I mean, honestly, I feel that because at this point, I feel that a lot of times they know what they're getting into when they're about to be, they already know what's up. Like, oh, it's one of Nelson's films. Like, not in a bad way, but it's like they already know what to expect in their mind. But anybody will tell you that I make everybody feel comfortable. Like, it's just, and I think that's what it's all about. It's just like, you know, being professional. We treat those scenes, you know, just like any other scene. Of course, they're a little bit more close set, but I mean, there's still people there because we got to shoot it just like any other scene to make sure, you know, the quality is up to par on all aspects. But to be honest, I've never really had a problem with someone being uncomfortable. Like I said, I think it's just the energy that I bring, and then once they know, it's just, you know, you can kind of tell.
Right. Yeah, and that's real right there. And that's the thing, because it's like you have, like I said, a quality. You have watching the films. You can tell everybody's close knit. You can tell it's like a family environment, and that's important in this industry because it's like you're working with females and stuff like that, and it's like they're comfortable. So that says a lot about you, because sometimes, you know, even in the modeling and stuff like, oh, you know, he's looking at me, you know, you don't get that vibe. It's like everybody's comfortable. So that's a salute to you, and that speaks a lot on your name and your brand. So that's dope right there. So let me ask, okay, so with the concealment, right? How long? Because people may watch a film, you know, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours. They don't know the work that goes behind it, the hours that go in. So when we're talking about a full production, about how long does it take to do a full production?
For production days for my films, it usually varies from 5 to 7 days at this
5 to 7 days
shooting the film.
Right.
And then maybe like a good 2 weeks in post-production cutting it together. And then we kind of have like an assembly line. I cut it together. I send it off to someone that does like the sound effects and the sound design. And then my score, big ups to Keith, right? He does all the scoring on all the films. And it's kind of like, okay, everybody has their part. Now we're working on the color grading. Then we set up a date. Okay, everybody's going to have their piece on this date. I take everybody's pieces, put it all together. Boom. So a cool month usually for post-production, and then all together. And then, you know, usually a little less than 2 weeks for actual production. So we're looking at a total of, excuse me, maybe 40 days for the whole film from start to finish.
Yeah, and you said a key thing right there, down to, like you said, the assembly, the different processes. You shoot it, put it together, the post-production. But one thing that I noticed, a lot of people make a mistake. You definitely on it. When it comes to the score, when it comes to the music, when it comes to the sound effects and stuff like that, it brings it gels it together. With some people, they may just, you know, they may miss that part. They're just throwing stuff in, and it's like, what is that about? That don't go with the scene. So it's like, so, you know, a salute to the score. What's his name again?
Yeah, Keith Wright.
Salute to Keith Wright, because that's a major part. It's like, again, when I'm watching your films, if it's a buildup, you feel it, you hear it, and it kind of makes you feel like you're there. If it's a scary scene or if they're walking, those footsteps, the sound, the door slamming, the wind, all of that brings it together. But it's like a lot of people miss that. How did you learn that? Was it like, yo, being on the set, or did you learn from trial and error? How did you learn that? Because you definitely nail it every time in your films.
It's definitely, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. Let people do what they do, because I used to try to do those things, and it's like I knew what I wanted, but I don't think the skill set to execute it properly. So it's kind of like, usually what I do is when I have a film, I do an outline of exactly what I want down to every single sound.
Wow.
And then I divide it to, like I said, I have a team that does like the sound effects and the sound design. And I have a guy, Keith, who does the score. So it's kind of like, I'll write an outline of what I want the audience to feel. And then sometimes I pull examples, and I have a whole outline, and I have like inspiration files and things like that. And then for like all the sound effects, I usually will literally start at, the first second and just really watch it. Like, we should go here. Write it down. Like, sometimes the sound is already there, but it's like, it's not loud enough. We need to enhance it, or let's take it out altogether. I want it to sound clearer, so we'll fabricate it. Like if it's like the shower running or something, it's like, okay, we're gonna take the real shower sound out, and we're gonna add a crisp, cleaner shower. Right. I mean, I literally usually take like a whole day, and I'll keep rewinding it and just making sure that it has everything in the outline that I want.
Wow.
And then when I review it, usually I have like one revision. Like when it's all done, it's like I'll go through it. It's like, oh, I missed something. And now usually they're on it. So when I miss something, it's kind of like they know what I want. So it's like, even if it wasn't on the outline, it's like, oh, this should have went here.
And then put it. And that's the thing, that detail. And that's what separates the professional from the amateur. And it's like, it's just learning. It's learning. So it's like with the experience, it's like it comes off and it shows polish at the end when you're watching the movie. So let's talk about like Sundance films and stuff like that. Have you submitted some? Have you done any Sundance festivals, films and stuff like that, or not yet?
No, not at this point. And I'm not really knocking film festivals at all. A lot of people go that route.
Right.
But for my goal and, for my brand and everything, I'm just more about getting it to the people. So it's kind of, a lot of those film festivals, they want you to premiere it there.
Right.
And I'll be ready for everybody to see it. I like to build up the hype, the excitement. And usually, the following, they're ready to see it too. So I'm ready to get it out to them. Like I said, no disrespect or no knocking the film festivals. This is just not really my thing as a producer. I just want to get it out.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You're definitely getting it out. It's like, yo, you got something that people are waiting for right now. It's like, yo, you hear, okay, this one's coming. So it's like, yo, when is it coming? Is it out yet? Is it out yet? So it's like, again, I was telling you before the show, it's like I found myself going on Amazon and just, putting your name, Nelson J. Davis, boom, 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 the movies come out. I go to Tubi and do the same thing. And there's the movies, there's even one Peacock. I think I've seen a few of your movies there. So it's like I started doing that now. It's like, damn, I didn't know he did that. I didn't know that. So if you had to count or just guesstimate, how many films do you think you have out there?
Oh man. Probably a cool 20.
Okay, 20.
At least 20.
Wow. So let me ask you, how does that feel? Being a filmmaker, actor, director, writer, to say, I have 20 films, not just on YouTube. They're out there on platforms and different stuff like that. So how does that feel, being a filmmaker, being a writer, creator, to see your stuff out there like that?
It's amazing. The placements are amazing, but I'm just more grateful and just more receptive of the reception. Like the love of it is so good. Like these people are actually, they're hitting me up, they're watching it. Not only is it there, but just, the love that comes with it. But I've definitely been, blessed to have some great placements. Like most of my films, they even are like Tubi exclusives for the first month of their release, where they're pushing it too. So it's like it's surreal sometimes, but it's a great to answer the question. Like you never old. Never
get that's a fact right there. So let me ask, when you first started, right? You knew where you wanted to go. Did you ever think the reception and the love would be the way it is right now, this early in the game?
Oh man, to be honest, I felt that it was. And I want to start off by saying I know that I have a long way to go still.
Right.
However, I do feel that I've gotten where I am quicker than I anticipated, but I did see myself where I am.
Wow.
Just a little bit sooner.
Right. That definitely makes sense right there. And that's the thing. You're giving people opportunity. So like, again, we were talking earlier, it's like, from the outside looking in, I interview people, or I'm, maybe doing a video and a fashion show and people in the acting and stuff like that. And again, a lot of people think we got to go outside of NC. You got to go to Atlanta. You got to go to North Carolina. But you're almost like a Tyler Perry almost in the making, because you're giving people a platform and you're giving them opportunity. So how does that feel? Not only for you to shine in your brand, but to give people an opportunity where they can get seen and get work.
I mean, honestly, that makes me feel really good. And a lot of people on my team will tell you this, and actors that I've worked with, like, I literally be like, I'm more excited for you for this project than I am. Like, yeah, I'm on the cover and stuff. That's cool. But it's your first time in a lead role. And I'm excited for you. And I genuinely mean that.
Right.
So that's a great feeling as well.
Yeah. And that's real.
Opportunities. Definitely.
Yeah. And that's real right there. So let me ask you, is there any directors when you were first starting? Is there any directors that you admired or that may have inspired you along the way?
Oh man, so many. It's to be honest, bro. Like, I feel like that I'm inspired by every single person that I encounter. I take something from.
Right.
That's just real. Like, yeah, I don't even want to single anybody. I'm inspired by you this moment. Wow. I can always take something from somebody doing something positive and creative. Like, so the answer is yeah. But probably too many to count.
I understand. I feel you on that. So let me ask: have you ever been out, right? And we get inspiration, like you said, from different people. You ever been in a grocery store or somewhere, and it's like you see somebody like, yo, that's a character. Not that they're a character, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, yo, they inspired me. It may be funny. They may look, they may say something in the store. You ever did that before? Where you see somebody like, yo, I'm gonna use that.
Definitely. People know not to say that.
Right.
Like, you about to write that in a movie, huh? Yep.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah. And that's the thing with being a creative, is like it's endless.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, for the people, Concealment is out there on Tubi. For the people that's watching that may not be familiar, let's let them know a little bit about it and why should they watch the film.
Concealment.
Great
film. And my guy here said that he likes it and you need to watch it for one. But no, Concealment, I think that it's a good film. I think it starts off with a bang. No pun intended.
Right.
With a bang. It keeps going. Like, that's one of my favorite films to start as far as like the pacing. Like, I feel like it's not really a dull moment in that.
Right.
It just kind of keeps going. I definitely think that you'll be entertained and you'll take something from it. I think the visuals is dope. I think you might see a little bit of Belly in that. On the
lighting and stuff.
Yeah. And I think it's a dope story. We worked really hard on it. I think it's good quality, good story. It's free. You can watch it. I mean, we like free, right?
Right. We like free.
Have a couple commercials, but it's free. So
yeah. It's definitely one of them date night movies right there. You chilling with the fellas. Boom. Yeah, I got the perfect movie. It's a movie night. Oh, I got the perfect one for y'all. So definitely, y'all go check out Concealment on Tubi. I got another trailer, right? We're going to play the trailer, then we'll talk about this one right here. It's called Ultimatum. Yeah, we're going to play that right quick, and then we'll break that down, and we'll see what inspired this one right here. I'm pretty sure the people are going to love this one as well.
All right.
Will you make me the happiest man in the world by saying yes that you will marry me?
I said, yeah, right.
You'll be the best man in my wedding.
So that's the guy that you left at home alone with your fiance.
If I ain't know any better, I think he was trying to seduce my wife.
It's a good thing that we both know better than you.
Is this some kind of joke?
Do you know how big this could have been for this company?
promise me?
It looks like we have a wedding plan.
Plans change.
All right, so we just seen the trailer for Ultimatums. What inspired that film right there?
Oh man, it's funny because I got to interject this because what you said earlier about the Zane books and everything. When I was first developing Ultimatums, it was actually meant to be an erotic novel. Like I was gonna make a novel first. I was in the middle of writing it. You know what? I'm gonna start doing novels. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna skip straight to the movie. So that ended up like the treatment for that book, going straight into the script. It sat on that for a while. Like I wrote that probably before. I had wrote 2 other scripts that we went ahead and shot after I wrote that. I kind of put it to the side. It was like one of those things. It's like, okay, I don't have the budget that I want yet or the experience yet. I ruined this. So I'm gonna put it to the side. So I was sitting on that for a minute, and what made me think of it was like, the movie. It's gonna sound crazy, but the 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's like, okay, that's a comedy, but what would be a real reason why a guy that's older, in his 30s would be a virgin still?
Right.
Yeah. Like it had to be something psychological. And I think that this movie really explores it because basically it's about this guy that, he doesn't want to sleep with his fiance. He doesn't want to have sex with her until they're married.
Wow.
It kind of like digs into his head why without giving too much away, but that's basically what it's about. And then it's like this whole scheme. He's putting this girl to the test.
Right.
And it did with a woman trying to be faithful, but I mean at the same time, we us as men, we're always like, well, I'm still a man, but it kind of like, okay, a woman, she's still a woman, she has needs, desires, she's trying, but yeah, it's some layers there. I think that one's good. Most people, they usually cuss out the screen as they're watching it until everything comes together, and they're just like,
it's one of those. So all right, where can they watch that one right there?
You can watch that one on Tubi as well. That was very special to me too because that's the first movie that I ever produced to actually become like most popular on Tubi. Concealment did it as Ultimatums was the first one that I produced to actually hit the most popular category. And that's big. Just in case people don't know, like Tubi is actually owned by Fox, and they have over 30 million subscribers or users. So that alone is like, wow.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And they said, yo, Nelson, my favorite actor, Rashad Burnett.
So I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, that's dope right there. So it's like, okay, let's talk about that. You just dropped the name. You said Fox Network, 30 million.
Yeah.
So you're in the favorites. How did that feel the moment you realized like, yo, you're in the most favorite?
Man, it was amazing. So it was really dope. I had to take a screenshot because it's like, when you went to the Tubi website, they had like a most popular page, and it was like on the top row, and it had like a little sound bit or text up there, and it said, the people have spoken, see the most watched movie on Tubi here. So then you see, I see Will Smith and Brad Pitt, and then boom, Ultimatums right next to it. So it's just like, wow, this is dope. And this happened after, I want to say 7 days after it was on Tubi. So for it to do that, and then for Concealment to come back around and do it too, it's like, wow.
It's a blessing right there. That's definitely a blessing right there. And you got the support, but not only you got the support, you're putting in the work. A lot of people, they think, yo, I'm gonna just throw it out there, it's gonna happen. Let's tell the people, because like even sometimes I just had a guest up yesterday and we were talking about overnight celebrities or overnight. People think, oh, they made it overnight. Normally is about 10 years. So how long has your journey been for you, my brother?
Exactly. It's never overnight. It's when you noticed.
Right.
Some people, they do get the luck of the draw. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but 9 times out of 10, it wasn't just overnight. It's just because you've just now heard of that person. Right. Some will call it the big break. But I mean, I've probably been acting professionally 9 years now.
9 years.
So I mean, it's been great the last 2 years. Like I said, I still have a long way to go. I'm not saying that, I don't want, anybody get that, misconstrued, that I'm thinking that, I'm Denzel. I'm not there yet. However, I've come a long way, and it's a great feeling.
Yeah, and that's real right there. So let's talk about it, right? Because I'm pretty sure you got at least a 5-year plan or end goal in mind. How far do you want to take it?
Man, I'm trying to take it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
I don't see myself doing nothing else no time soon. I just want to keep making movies, but making movies better and better. To be honest, I really love what I do.
That's a fact right there. So let me ask you, because you wear a lot of different hats. How do you prepare yourself, right, for a role? Like, say, if you even writing it, you may be you're acting a lot of your films. So how do you prepare yourself to get in the character?
Oh, that's a good question. A lot of times I study various films that might be, if I think a character is similar to them, I even sometimes talk with the director, like, how do you see this person, more like this person or more like that person? Just try to study certain things, whether it be the mannerisms, how they dress, like how they articulate certain things, body language, things like that. In music, man, sometimes like I throw on certain music and it just helps me get into the mood, for the vibe of the character, like that.
Right.
Big influence on me, believe it or not. Like,
wow.
It's my ritual.
Okay, so we ain't gonna give it away, but in Ultimatums, I seen a little bit in the clip where it looked like, we had a little best man going on right there. So it's like, now, like I said, I watched a few, so it's like my brother's keeper. It was, a lot of like, whoa, like, I know they ain't rolling like that. You roll like that. So like when you're doing these roles like that, like how do you, is it like, you using like personal experience, like friends, sometimes like people might have went through a situation like, wow, I'm gonna use that. How do you get in character for that when you're doing it? That I would call that like the greaseball friend role. How do you?
I guess you get that a lot. You got down to a science.
Right.
I won't say that I'm a what if person. And I think I kind of touched on that earlier when I was writing. Sometimes, I tap into what if, and really, what if, like, would I, if that was to happen? I think that's part of the beauty of being able to act, because it's kind of like you get to do something that's not necessarily that way, but what if? So it's kind of like you get to explore something different, like for a little while. I'm not saying you be that greaseball, but it's kind of like, kind of what would you do in those, and then you get to step out of it because it was fake. So it's like, got to deal with the real consequences.
Yeah, now that's the thing. Now I'm gonna say it was one. I think it was. It was one. I was mad with you. I know he didn't do him like that. He didn't do that. Nah, no. Come on. I'm at the TV watching. Nah, don't do it like that. Because as men, we have a code.
Right.
My brother's Kiefer. You broke all the rules, my brother.
Oh man, yeah. Big up to Carlton T. in Augusta, Georgia. Yeah, that was crazy. My brother's.
All right, Rashad Burnett, he said he's working on the movie Stalker by my OnlyFans, the movie coming soon 2022. Salute to him, Rashad Burnett. Salute, definitely. So that's a fact right there. But we're still on Ultimatums, right? So it's like, okay, what was that like on the set? And how long did it take y'all to put that one together?
Bro, believe it or not, and I tell people we would never do this again, but we shot the movie in 3 days.
3 days.
Again, 3 very long days. But can't do that no more. And you'll see. I mean, I'm proud of that project, but sometimes when you add a few more, you definitely see the shift of the product. I mean, it's about elevating.
Right.
And to be honest, that film, the locations were very expensive. For the locations.
Right.
I mean, they look nice. Like we had like this luxury apartment with this great extravagant view. You see like this city, and it's like we had offices and things like that. And those things, they cost money. So it's kind of like, if we're gonna do this, I want these locations, but we gotta shoot fast.
I get that. And we got a comment in here that says, you can flat out perform, very impressive and professional. So how does it feel when you see stuff like that about your work?
Yeah, that makes me feel great. I really, really appreciate that. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Salute to James Elwood Muller. Says, great interview, bro. Really enjoyed this one.
You, bro.
Salute to him. So that's dope right there. So again, like you said, it costs. These things, a lot of times people thinking, it's free. No. Right. So like, yo, with the experience now, like what have you learned when it comes to the budget? When it comes to like, yo, okay, boom, I might be able to shoot this house. I might get 4 shots out of this one location. What type of techniques and tricks have you learned from just being in the game?
Definitely make, all right, two things really. Try to maximize every location. Like, just because it's one house, it might could be 2. Okay. And also when you're strategically getting your locations, I prefer the smaller cities now, honestly, because you have to factor in like travel time and things like that. For an example, we did Ultimatum. We shot that movie in Raleigh and Durham, but it came to the point where locations were literally like 45 minutes apart.
Right.
That's crazy. Where I can shoot, somewhere like, Jacksonville.
Right.
And the locations might be 5 or 10 minutes apart.
Wow.
And they're cheaper.
Right. And they're cheaper.
You can build your environment. Like, you know what I mean? You can make it seem like, especially if it's houses, it's gonna look nice inside. Like, you don't get caught up on certain things. You gotta make it work.
You gotta make it work. Yeah. He said his favorite movies, He Say, She Say. We got the trailer for that as well. So we're gonna jump to that right quick. Ultimatums, that's out on Tubi as well, correct?
Yes, Ultimatums is on Peacock.
And on Peacock.
It's owned by NBC. So that's amazing, right there. So
salute to that. And that's definitely a blessing right there. So they can watch it on Peacock or you can watch it on YouTube. That's Ultimatums.
Tubi. Now on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Oh, let's do it again. You can watch it on Peacock. You can watch it on Tubi. Yeah. Nelson J. Davis, Ultimatums. Y'all go check it out, and it's free on both networks. Right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. Boom. So we're gonna jump to He Say, She Say right here, yo. He said this is his favorite, so we're gonna play the trailer, and then we're gonna jump into that one right there.
Okay.
I thought she was serious. Don't get caught up out here with these women that's gonna put you in something that you're not built for.
Layla Michaels practically tore up our friendship like 10 years ago.
I'm not telling you this so that you can run back and say something to him.
I'm about sick and tired of your he say, she say bullshit.
I think you need to leave before things get ugly.
There's rules to this shit.
You wanted to teach her a lesson.
I don't do no damn favors.
No, that's not what I'm saying, man.
I know the facts.
This is getting old. Are you sure there's nothing else that you can do?
It's crazy how you on my mind. Got me wanting to get to you one more time. Got me like confession. Nothing like your breath. Bet, baby, you the one, no question.
I don't care who.
Wow. Now that one right there, definitely, that one looks action-packed and sucks you in as well. The thing that stood out the most to me is that line, and he hit it. He said, I don't do no damn he say, she say bullshit.
Yeah, that was a powerful line. And like, I felt like it should have went like at the end of the trailer to end it, but it just wasn't working. I was like, I think it still was impactful where it was placed though.
Definitely impactful. So it's like the things like that, like, yo, how important is it when the actors hit them lines like that? And it's like, yo, how does that feel when they nail it and it comes through? And it's like, yo, it's almost like the exclamation point on the sentence.
It feels great. And he nailed it exactly the way that I wanted him to deliver the line. And like when I was writing the script, I knew that very moment because like when I write, I usually make a note next to it. I was like, this trailer line. Like I usually know how I'm going to design the trailer, so it's always important for me. It's important to hit all the lines, but I have a vision for the marketing. So he delivered it right on point. Yeah.
And that's the thing. The trailers, they actually sell the movie, so it's like they draw the people in. It's like, yo, and again, we've been saying 3. All professionally put together, they all capture you, they suck you in. Like, yo, how much time goes in the strategy? Like you said, I'm taking notes, but it's like, as you see in the trailer, Like for the people that may be up and coming, they may not know. How important is hitting that trailer? Because you only have a certain amount of minutes or seconds.
Right.
How important is that?
That's very, very important because, like you said, like that's what's going to sell the movie. You know, your trailer and your artwork. So the trailer is actually like one of my favorite parts about the process. Everybody knows that on team I get really excited about the trailers, but it doesn't always hit me all the time. It's like sometimes it's like, dang, I'm having trailer block.
Right.
And one day, like I might just be like, I might be at the gym or I might be just laying down. I'm like, it hit me. I see it. I got the first 7 clips in my head, and it's kind of like, I get started and just start manipulating. I get hype about the trailer, but it's very important to answer the question. Definitely.
And that's the thing, and you're definitely nailing them. So it's like, when you see the trailer, right? It's like you already seen the playback of the movie. Now the trailer's put together, you get excited.
Right.
Like, all right, now when you play it for the team and they're watching it and their first impression. What's going through your mind while you're playing? Are you nervous? Are you confident? What's going through your head?
9 times out of 10, to be honest, like I usually be confident because by the time it gets to them, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, I still be nervous because I want them to like it. But at the same time, I'm surrounded by people that they're not just gonna tell me that's dope just to make. They're not yes men.
That's important.
You know what I mean?
That's important. Yeah, that's the thing. So for the people that may not know about it, right? Let's let them know a little bit about He Say, She Say without giving them too much. Let's just let them know what they can expect from the movie.
He Say, She Say. Okay, it's basically about I mean, things happen. Sometimes people get drunk and things happen, and then it might escalate to other things. Without giving too much away, man, it's definitely a concealment type of twist.
Okay.
You think one thing is happening, but that's not it.
Wow. All right, and that's the thing. I might watch that one tonight, yo. So for the people that want to watch that, He Say, She Say, where can they find that?
Right now it's on Vimeo on demand. We have
Vimeo on demand.
It is gonna be coming to Tubi soon.
Okay.
Within the next few weeks or so, it should be live on Tubi. But we did release it on Vimeo on demand for the people that wanted to see it early.
Right.
But that's not free. But it'll be free on Tubi real soon, though.
Okay. And if they want to get it on Vimeo, what's the price for that right there?
It's $5.99 for I think 48 hours.
48 hours. You can't beat that right there. You can't beat that. And that's the thing, you're getting exclusive. And it's like the way he said that line, because I don't believe in that He Say, She Say bullshit either. It's worth the $5.99 to see what type of He Say, She Say bullshit they was trying to pull. But it looks like a dope film right there, and it looked like you had a lot of fun. So how did you cast this one right here? Did you already have them in mind, or how did you pick the people for these roles?
Single person for that film, I actually had in mind.
Right. Yeah, that's dope. And it looked like it came together. It looked like you had a lot of fun right there. Did y'all shoot that in Jacksonville as well, or where did you shoot that one?
Yeah, we shot that one in Jacksonville.
Yo, dope right there. We got a comment right quick. Let me jump to that before I get off focus. Oh no, they're just showing you love. That's Ahmad Tillery. Salute to him.
Appreciate
Tillery.
So much.
Yeah, so that's dope right there. He Say, She Say. And that's on Vimeo on demand.
Right. You go to vimeo.com/on-demand.
Right.
That's He Say, She Say.
Got you. So that's dope right there. So let me ask you, what order was that when you shot that one? Was it like, was this one of the recenter ones you did? Was this earlier? When did you shoot this?
Okay, cool. That's a good question. The order of it was we basically shot them in the same quarter. We did Concealment. We shot that one first.
Right.
Immediately after Concealment, we shot Non-Disclosure. And then right after Non-Disclosure, we shot He Say, She Say. Now I know the release is not in that same order, but that's the order that we shot them in, though.
Right.
And then Ultimatums is the oldest one out of all of them. Ultimatums was actually the last movie that I did pre-COVID. Like it was right before COVID when we shot that one.
Okay. And then The last one you said was non-disclosure. You said
Right.
you shot all of them in the same quarter. So
Yeah.
is non-disclosure out now, or is it coming? What's up with non-disclosure?
It's coming exclusively to Tubi on February the 1st. So you can watch it. For the only place you can watch it free. It'll be a Tubi exclusive on next week.
Next week. Yeah, so that's dope right there. So yeah, you want to throw to that trailer right quick? You want to set them up for this one? I'll let you introduce the trailer while I pull it up.
All right, cool. Y'all check out the trailer for Non-Disclosure. This is another dope one. Hope y'all check it out next week.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. You've expressed your desires for advancement in the company. One of the biggest expectations is additional confidentiality.
We need to talk.
This is coming from your friend and not your doctor.
Listen, you might have everybody else around here fooled, but you don't have me fooled.
You fresh out of a breakup? You need a hug?
I don't know what it is that you think that you know.
Wow.
Stop grabbing me.
Look into my eyes. Look at me.
So what about you, Amari? You don't speak upon the subject much.
I'm trusting you. You can't tell nobody.
You wanted to play this game. So let's play the game.
No, please hurry.
Who I'ma tell?
I mean, after all, you did just sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, that looked like one I'm definitely want to see February 1st. Around Valentine's Day, that might be a movie night for me and my girl right there. So let me ask you, let's tell the people a little bit about your character in this movie, right?
Okay. So basically in that movie, this guy, he's in the corporate world, he's moving up fast, and he finds himself in a situation where, he can move up even faster in career ladder, but he's got to pay the price by some things behind closed doors, some unconventional things behind closed doors, and he can't talk about it because he signed a non-disclosure agreement. So it's like, his boss offers him this part. I mean, this role in the film, or I said this role in the film, this part in the company, this job in the company. Dang, I'm messing all up. This job.
You good, bro. You good, bro. We live, yo. They know it's the proof in the pudding, bro. You good right now, yo.
Look, I'm so used to film being the work, so I'm like, he offered him this role in this film, but that's not it. He offered him this job in the company, but he has to, do some things to keep that position, and he can't talk about it because he signed a NDA.
Right. It happens. That happens, yo, especially in the entertainment business. That's a real thing. That's a real.
It was inspired by true events.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine.
Say that, but
yeah, I can imagine. So, like, what was that like shooting that one, and like how was the chemistry on the set? How long did it take to do that one?
It was great. I want to say that one took 4.5 days.
4.5.
Yeah, the reason I say 4.5, because like it was supposed to take 4 days, but I think we took like a part of one of the days that we did. He said, she said we actually shot both films. Literally, like we did, some scenes there and then some scenes there, like back to back. But the chemistry it was great on set. Bells to the whole cast and crew on that film. It was a lot of fun. Only challenge with that one is kind of back to what we were talking about earlier. We shot that one in Raleigh and Durham, and like we was downtown. Like it was dope, beautiful spot we shot at. But we ended up being like 2-3 hours behind on production because it took that long to find somewhere to park. That was like my last straw, to be honest. Like that was the last.
I'm done.
It in like a big city. I was like, this ain't it. I'm about to do the small place.
That's it right there. So that's the thing. It's like, yo, it looks good, but the thing, like you said earlier, is like, yo, you can use the camera to do tricks, and they don't know exactly where you are. You can change the locations and stuff like that. So you found a way around it. It was an obstacle,
right?
You found a way around it. Let's talk about that, because it don't always go the way you think. Like, yo, it's gonna be this. the obstacles. Let's talk about that. You're making the film, you're directing.
Right.
Let's talk about these obstacles that come up and how do you keep your head? Because a lot of times people get flustered.
Right.
Like, yo, how do you stay in the game? How do you keep your head and stay focused? Because a lot of people looking at you as well.
Right. To be honest, I don't really feel I have a problem in that department, because everybody around me, no matter what, like they'll tell you, anybody tell you this that's ever worked with me or even been around me, like I'm just always positive. Like, one of my guys was like, the kitchen can be on fire, and you'd be like, oh well, at least we got flames in that shot. Like I'm always like that guy. I think I make people mad sometimes because everything can be falling apart, and I'll just be like, well, at least we making a movie. Like,
right.
I'm just always that guy. Like,
right.
Got to be checked. It's got to be balanced in life. So sometimes people are not. I won't call them negative, but they're just not as positive. You got to. I'm the one that tips scale of the way. Like,
you got to, because it's like, if it starts, we get to complaining, now people murmuring, now nothing gets done.
Exactly.
So it's like you driving the ship. So it's like you're the leader.
Yeah.
So they're looking at you. They can't see you buckle. You can't fold under pressure. So it's like, how did you develop that skill? Like, yo, that's just you naturally, or it's like, yo, being in that leadership role is like, yo, you realize like, yo, whoa, people looking at me. If I fold, if I'm nervous, they're gonna get nervous. How did you develop that skill?
Right. I think it's a mixture. I think that a lot of that is just genuinely like me, but in addition to that, I think that my stint in the corporate world and being in a leadership position at a very young age, I think that I developed a lot of those skills. Just being in the profession that I was, because like I was like probably like not even 21, maybe 20, and I was in management at the company that I used to work for, and I was like one of the youngest people to ever even be in that position. So I mean, I'm like 20 years old with like 50 subordinates, and like well, half of them probably double my age.
Right.
It's just about just having good energy, and it's just, people always just seem to gravitate to me, and they like me. It's just like you just got to find a way to relate to each person and have that bond with everyone, and just keep it positive.
And you're doing it, yo, and it shows off in the work. It comes across in the work. So let me ask, yo, because I'm pretty sure with the cast and crew, a lot of people, a lot of hands involved.
Definitely.
What's the average about the hands on scene, behind the scenes, crew, people holding mics and stuff like that? What's the normal range of the crew and cast?
For the crew, I would probably say maybe a 4.
About 4.
The cast itself, it just kind of varies. Like we did, like for the crew, you have me. It usually be like one person on camera, my AD. Big ups to Cliff. He was AD on the last Clifton Pearsall. And you usually have Dante or Step or Jamar. It's usually either one of them that's on camera, like doing the camera, and then sometimes I do the sound, and be up to my guy Jarrell. He'll do the sound. So usually it just kind of alternates, but it's usually like like 4 people on the crew.
Okay.
It just kind of alternates because some movies are bigger than others. Like for an example, Ladies' Choice, which is the male exotic entertainer film that I just did. We had like a lot of people on set. Like we did like strip club scenes where we had
right.
strip club.
Wow.
Some scenes, a little bit more intimate, like throughout concealment, there's probably only like 3-4 people
right at a time in each frame. Right.
So it kind of depends on the story. And like for an example, Halloween Kickback, which was the Halloween comedy that we did, that was like the whole movie, majority of that was a party.
Right.
So of course, obviously that's going to have more people. So that kind of varies depending on the project.
Okay, that makes sense. So let me ask, how do you control the sound? Because a lot of times people have the boom mics and stuff like that. They use the lapels, especially in bigger scenes. Like
right.
That. How do you control the sounds? And when I know in pre-production,
right,
you do the rest in post, but it's like for that pre-production, what's some tips and tricks that you learned?
Definitely, I am not a fan of the lapels. I'm not nothing that works for some people, but they're aggravating to me. I think the key is a lot of times, like even if you just have to get an environment that is controlled, like even like for an example, the strip club scene for Ladies' Choice, we pretty much just threw all the audio away on that. So it's like y'all can say what you want, and then we just rebuilt it from scratch. But when there's dialogue involved, of course, you just got to really got to stay on the people and let them know you got to. Wow. It's about got to persuade them. Tell them.
Right. Nah, that's real.
It all boils down to the relationship building. It's just about communication. Everybody needs to be on the same page.
Right, before getting into the film. So let me ask you, how important is it for the post, right? For pre-production, how much prep time goes into it? Is it like, do y'all do readings before y'all actually film? Because like timing, lines, hitting the lines, is it improv? Is it written? Like, how do you get it to flow? Because a lot of times you may see in some films where people kind of talking over each other, where it comes jumbled. The lines don't hit, but it's like in yours, it's like, where it's like an exclamation point or a certain line that's powerful. It hits right there. So like, is that just on the fly, just God's grace, or do y'all prep for that right there?
I'll tell anybody, like, pre-production is very, 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 it's important for every film, but I feel like it's very, very, very important for my films because it's like, because I'm in them. So as much pre-production as possible, we try to knock that out. I do allow, improv within reason, but I've never really had a problem with an actor like rewriting the whole script. It's usually pretty much on what's written. They just really bring it to life. But we do run through, some rehearsals before we actually shoot. Like, while the DP is setting up everything, like the lights and everything, we'll be blocking and, rehearsing as many times as possible before we actually knock out the scene.
That's dope right there. So a lot of these actors and actresses that you're using, do a lot of them already come in with experience, or sometimes they're first time roles? How does that work?
I think we have a nice mixture, to be honest, like with the seasoned actors as well as new ones. Like I said, I like to give other people opportunities, but at the same time, I also feel that I have like a core group that I keep using.
Right.
Just because I just enjoy working with them and want to give them as many opportunities as possible. But last couple of films we did bring in a lot of new talent as well, just because the casts were so big. Like Ladies' Choice, that one was a pretty big cast. Halloween Kickback, that was a pretty big cast as well. So I'd probably say maybe 70-30, like maybe 70 seasoned, 30%, first timers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's real right there. So if you could go back, right, to the first film, let's go back to the first set you ever did, knowing what you know now, what's 3 things you would say, if you don't remember nothing else, do this, this, and this. What's 3 things you would say to Nelson J. Davis on the first production?
Man, I would say take the extra time to light this scene properly. Pick smaller locations, because like I said, I think a lot of times people will pick certain locations. It sounds good, but when you get to it, it's kind of like, wow, I got to fill this space up.
Right.
Use a better sound equipment.
Better sound equipment. Yeah, that's a fact.
I wish I could take some of the other things back, but it's all about the growth though. So you leave the growth between the films, but light, like, that boils down to it. The lighting and the sound is important.
Yeah,
that's both of the two things.
Yeah, and that's a fact right there. So like any up and coming filmmakers that's watching this, you got any words that you would give them? Any advice? They're just first getting in the game. They got an idea. They just got a passion. I think I can do that. What advice would you give them?
To be honest, go out and shoot. Because you're going to learn by trial and error, and then they're going to have the same conversation with a great person like you that's going to ask them, what would you tell yourself? But you're not going to know what to tell yourself if you don't go through that experience and learn.
Yeah, that's real right there. That's real. So all right, let's talk about, we talked about the directing side, right? And the filmmaking.
Right.
Let's talk about the writing process. Like, what is that like for you? Like, all right, when you're writing, it's like, I'm pretty sure you come up with the outline. how do you get in your zone? I know you said sometimes you put the music on and stuff like that, but like take me in the mind of Nelson J. Davis. You're working on a film, you're writing it out, you're coming up with the characters and stuff like that. What's your process?
Yeah, that's basically what I do. I'll do my outline, like you said. I usually, and it's crazy because a lot of times I'll come up with a general concept, right? And then I will write my ending, like how I want it to end. And it's like, okay, climax, how are we gonna get here? And I'll come up with that. And then I'm like, how do we get to the climax? So a lot of times I work backwards because it's like I know the story and I know how I want it to end. So it's about filling in the gaps of how we got there. Right. And then once I get the outline, then I'll start like dialoguing it out. Like, okay, we got the outline of how we got here step by step, but what is the conversation to get to each one of these key points?
Wow. Yeah. And that's the thing. So it's like, a lot of times people overthink it. Like you said, you get the outline, you work it back. So let me ask, when you're coming up with the lines, like, are you hearing the lines in your head first and writing them? Everybody has a different creative process. So it's like, if you're writing for a female, so you're doing the scene, are you hearing it, or is like you writing it first? You don't know how she's going to talk because she may have an accent. She may be ghetto. She may be educated. Are you hearing that when you're doing it, or do you twist it and put it in?
I'm usually not necessarily the accent, but I usually have the persona in mind, like you said, ghetto, for an example.
Right.
If that's how I wanted to be portrayed, I usually would have that in my mind, and then I'm already thinking who I'm gonna get to play this, and then I'll get to saying like I want this character to be like this, like maybe on a different show or something, like, or a movie. I want her to portray the character this way, and that's kind of like the voice that I hear it in.
Right, when you do it, yeah, and that's dope right there. And it's like, so now when you're coming up with it, right now they nail this on the set. Now you see the persona. Now they nail it. Is it like, yo, how does that feel? Because it's almost like giving birth to a baby. It's like it was an idea. Now you give them the lines. They done went through all that. Now they on the set.
Right.
Boom, and now you're seeing it. How does that feel, like creating that?
Man, I get so hyped. Right. Brought it to life. That's exactly how I see it. Like that's how I be. Like in between takes, I'm like, yo, killed that. That's exactly the way I imagined it. Man, I'm so excited. Like I'll be that enthusiastic. Like that. That's the energy that I have.
Wow, that's the thing. I got a clip of you, right? You're one of the main roles in a new film. It just dropped, right? Talking about nailing the roles, playing the part, right? I think it's your sister. I think your sister's in there. She's confronting in the trailer. She's your sister in real life, not in the movie. We're talking about Boss Blackbird, Cariente. We'll play it and we'll come back to it. We'll do yeah, we will play it and then we'll talk about it. But it's like, she nailed this role. And then you know what I'm talking about once we play it. This is Entanglement.
Okay, Entanglement. Let me work together so much. Like, which movie?
Yeah. Now we're gonna talk about that right quick. There's a line in this trailer.
Okay.
She nailed it where she's confronting the girl. Like, all right, we're gonna play it and then we'll talk about it.
All right.
Why don't you live in your truth, mama? What's up?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about how your man can't get enough of this.
So when do we go see the lawyer?
What lawyer?
The lawyer that we need to sign the paperwork to get the money that your grandma left?
You plan to give her your grandmother's money because of the baby, right? And then it's going to take at least 3 months for him to get, but as soon as he gets it, he's going to give me my cut for the baby.
You think I believe that?
I don't even know if I believe. See this? If I need chickens in this house, I'm gonna kill her.
No, you're not.
But what makes you think you're entitled to any of this money? I mean, I've always been close to the family. And now, I practically am family.
We're gonna get this money, and then we're gonna
take you on a trip.
Why you didn't tell me he was gonna be here?
What would have changed?
Me whooping your behind. After all I put up with dealing with you in this school, you think I'm about to walk away empty-handed? Get your grandma's money now.
Don't get me wrong, but the difference between this and your is that this can have babies. You feel me? Ooh, I know that hurt. Ooh.
Yeah, hold on, because we got the comments going crazy right quick. We're gonna talk about that right quick. Like we got 2 comments right quick. We got an important question right here. He said, "Do you need clearance for the trailers and movies as far as music? Like, do you have to get clearance for the music in your trailers?"
Absolutely, but the thing is, in general, I'm gonna answer that question in 2 parts. In general, yes, you do have to have clearance for music and trailers. However, with my trailers in the movies, they're all from scratch. I don't use something that I have to get clear from someone. Like, it's created for my projects from scratch. Like, and that's the part I love. About my projects. If you know, like stock or royalty free music or anything, everything is created by the composers. Like,
right. Yeah. So that's dope right there. Then we got Maxine. She said, "Wow, the suspense." Now I'm gonna tell you. This is the one I was talking about. When she said,
"Yeah,
all right, boo." When she confronted the girl, right? Yo, I'm like, again, I'm sitting there because like that was a what if moment, right?
Right.
I'm sitting there watching, like, what if I was you? Somebody's coming to my girl and she's telling her, talking that talk.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh man.
How did you get into character for that? And then I got another what if once you finish that. But how did you get into character for that role right there? Because that movie right there is different. That movie right there.
Big up my guy, Nakia T. Hamilton for that one, and big up Bird because I love her to death. Great actress. But as far as my role personally, getting into that, it was kind of a what if. It's just kind of like I felt that I could relate to it a little bit, but not to that degree. But I've been in a situation where it's like, okay, 2 girls are feeling me. How do I diffuse this?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I felt like I had to tap into that part. Like, okay, what I'm gonna do? I don't want to make either one of them mad. I think we all been there as men. Not saying that you where it's like you're trying to appease two different women and keep the situation control, and then it's like on top of that, money at stake. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
To make it happen.
The situation. But
yeah. That movie is definitely intense. Suspense is definitely there. Let me ask you, yo, as a man, right? What if this is a what if moment, right? What if you were the husband? And this is the situation.
I mean, I think that's why I was able to relate to my character. I think that I've been in more situations more similar to that than the husband. But if I was, I mean, I would be mad, but money will make you do some strange things. So I'm about money too, though. So I might have to take that.
Yo, that's the thing. And it's like, it's real because it's like, okay, you're married. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. But there's one scene, right? Where it's like, yo, there's, if he's watching, he's mad, like you said. They're doing what they do. And it's like, yo, he's taking his frustration out, right? How are y'all not laughing? How are y'all holding it together on the set when he's saying, yo, it's mine, Yo, what's going through your head on the set while they filming?
You want to know what's funny? I didn't even see that scene until I saw the movie because I was on set, but I think I was taking a nap. Like I was like, Like, to be honest with you, so when I saw it for the first time, I remember reading it and I was cracking up when I read that part. I was like, oh wow. And then to see it to life, when I saw the completed film, I was like, oh wow, that's hilarious. Oh.
Yeah, so that's dope right there. And that one right there is out now too, right? Where can they watch that one? Entanglements.
Yeah, go to Tubi right now. Watch that. It's actually currently one of the most popular dramas on Tubi right now. So go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Definitely worth the watch right there. And it's like, yo, my brother, you had some good scenes in there. You had some scenes. I was like, yo, I wonder if he hit the gym for this. You got the 6 packs cut and everything going. I'm like, yo.
Yeah,
bro.
You want to know what's funny though? It's crazy. I always remember that because I had to like really, really tap into some energy for that. I was sick when we shot that, or I had just finished coming off of being sick. I wasn't feeling well like at all. I think I had like the stomach flu or something. Like I was like really sick, like the up until like probably the first day. But I was like, I can't leave them hanging. I was well enough, to go to set.
Right.
Anybody was in danger or anything. But like the week before that, I was like sick. I was like, man, and I was kind of depressed. I was like, man, I want to do this movie, but I don't feel it. I can't even keep food down.
Right.
It ended up being okay.
Pulled it through. You pulled it together. Definitely got through it. It's one of those ones that's another plot twist where you're thinking it's going one way.
Definitely.
It goes another way. So looking back at it, the final project, how did you feel as an artist, as an actor, looking at your work? How did that feel?
I'm gonna be honest. We definitely, have, like projects that we're more prouder of others, and that's definitely one of the ones that I'm really proud of the product. As an artist, I'm like, I look good in this, and I like my acting, and the story is good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The element. Yeah, I was happy with that. I've watched it a few times, and I've watched all the movies a few times. It's kind of weird. It's self-sometimes, but sometimes you find the ones like, I like looking at myself in this. That's one of them. So
okay, that's dope right there. So was it challenging because normally like you're there through the process of the writing and stuff like that. So in this one, you're just the main star. So it's like, is it different? Are you pulling from the same inspiration? Is it a challenge more? Is it easier? Like, what's that process like for you?
I want to say that it's easier, but I feel that the same amount of energy is still put into it. It's just that it doesn't have to be spread across as much. If that makes like, okay, I still put my all in every project, put my all here instead of having to spread it. You know what I mean? Because I just got to focus on this instead of this.
Wow. Yeah, and that's a fact right there. So for the people that's watching, right, we're talking about entanglements. Let's tell them why they need to check that one out right there and tell them a little bit about it. They've seen the trailer. Just give them a little bit without giving them the plot and, spoiling it for them. Just tell them why they should check it out. I definitely think y'all should check it out. It's definitely worth the watch. Yo, salute to the scenes. There's some scenes in there. Y'all did that. Salute to the actors and the actresses. Yo, that's a dope movie. So I'll let you say it in your own words.
Yeah, definitely. Big ups to Nakia T. Hamilton, Bird, Kevin, Lily, Joshua, the whole cast and crew for that one. You definitely did check that one out. It's sexy. It's a thriller. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It keeps you wondering, and like you said, it really turns into something else.
Right. Yeah, it definitely does. Right there.
Go watch, I think.
Yeah, and that's right now on Tubi. Y'all can watch that right now. Entanglements on Tubi.
Yep, Entanglement. Check that one. Also available on Amazon Prime. I think Google Play or YouTube Movies, but definitely run the Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi's the home team. Tubi the home team right now.
I'm always say Tubi. So.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. So, okay, you got another one. I'm not sure if it's out. I'm not sure. Let's talk about Taboo 3 right quick.
Yeah. Taboo 3 is out right now because to Bobby and Renee Peoples, we actually shot that one out in Vegas. So that was a lot of fun, and they're actually bringing it out for another movie that I shoot in the 15th of Sudden Passion. But yeah, they bring me back out to Vegas. Big ups to thank you so much. Yeah, Taboo 3. It's definitely with the title. It's basically about this actress that gives the child up for adoption, they kind of reconnect and then they have a relationship that mother and son shouldn't be having. But what intrigued me most about the project was it really tapped into not just like incest, but it was more like why they're wired this way and why they think the way that they think. So that's what was intriguing to me about the project. But it's dope. It's out on Tubi right now.
Okay.
Definitely check that one out.
We're gonna jump to the trailer right quick on that one. It's Taboo 3 is available now on Tubi. Y'all be sure to check that one out as well. Nelson J. Davis. Let's get to it.
Ain't your mom ever teach your dumb ass about stranger danger?
I was 13 when I had you.
Is it okay if I call you mom?
Yes.
My mom was the sexiest woman of the year.
She makes a comeback on TV and he just shows up.
Where you been?
I was out with my son. I slept on his couch.
It's kind of like killing 3 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah. So let's talk about shooting that one and filming, being on the set with that one right there. How long did it take y'all to shoot? I know you were in Vegas. How many days did it take, and what was it like on the set?
It was great on the set. Great energy. I want to say it took us like maybe 5 to 6 days.
5 to 6 days.
Matter of fact, it was a week. It was a week. I think I got there on a Friday and we started like Saturday. I think Thursday, so like little under a week.
Okay. So let me ask, what's been one of your most challenging roles to play?
Oh man. To be honest, that one might be one of them. I was definitely up for that one. That one is the one that I just did, ladies. I'm a stripper and that. I've never been a stripper.
Wow.
But a lot of people that ain't never did it before. But I've definitely been trying to raise the bar a little bit on certain things. But that Taboo was definitely a challenge. Choice, just because of the choreography and stuff. So yeah.
So that's dope right there. That looks like another thriller right there. It sucks you in. Again, the trailers are important. It's like, you see, like you get some of the storyline, like, what's that about? It captures your attention and it makes you want to go see it. So it's like Taboo 3. Is it 3 parts or is it like,
it's 3 of them. However, it's like definitely check out the other 2, but they're not linked. It's like a separate situation for each one.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're all separate entities, but it's just like the brand.
Right, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, so Taboo 3, that's on Tubi as well. So let me ask you, what's like a dream role? Like, I know you done a lot of roles, you've been in a lot of films. What's like one role that you want to do before it's all said and done?
Oh man, sorry, I had to connect to the charger real quick. I ain't want to lose. All right, I'm back. I'm with you. Dream role, man. Oh man, I used to have like a whole list of them, but and that's the beauty of being like a producer and a creative. It's kind of like I've got to create a lot of those roles that I wanted to play. I mean, it's still a lot out there. It's just that I've been really digging into that list. But I really want to play like a detective. I've played a detective before, but it was more like a supporting role. But I really want to play like a detective, and you really dig into his life and more into the case. Gotcha. I've played one before, but not really in depth. You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel you on that. So let me ask, what type of actors, if you could pick 2, if you had to pick like 2 actors that inspire you, or you would say your favorite actors, what would be 2 people?
Oh man, definitely. Definitely Denzel Washington. And then number 2, oh man. I wish I could name like 10, but it's hard. But definitely Denzel and I'm gonna say like Jamie Foxx. I love his range, and I feel that he's underrated, so to speak, because he can do so much more than comedy. Like Law Abiding Citizen, that's like one of my favorite movies ever. Like,
right.
Yeah, and I just can really appreciate the range, just because, like, growing up watching the Jamie Foxx show, it's like, oh, he's just a comedian, and then when he started to like really branch out, like I was just really impressed with Law Abiding Citizen. Like I said, that's like one of my favorite movies. I watched that like so many times.
Wow, and that's real right
Plus,
there.
it's my type of movie anyway. I don't know if you saw it, but I like twists and all that.
Yeah, Law Abiding Citizens was one of them. On one of them, you're just glued to the screen like what's about to happen next. So that's real right there. So let me ask you, okay? And I'm gonna try not to keep you too much longer, but I'm gonna just hit a few more points.
Good, bro. I'm loving this.
It's dope. It's a good vibe. So let me ask you, you can bring the whole family, you got your whole team with you, right?
Right.
But now you got the budgets and all this. You can bring in a few other people, right? Mm-hmm. Anybody out there? Anybody, any actors, any actresses? What's 2 people that you would like to work with or have them star in one of your films?
And we don't go with, Megan Good, Miss Good if you're nasty.
All right.
Go with Megan Good, and I would say Omari Hardwick. Like, I'm a big fan of his. Even before Power, like I just really liked his work, like all the way from, like, even when he was in Sparkle and in 4 Color Girls. I just really respect him as an actor.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
I like both of them as well. So now let's put in the writer. Let's put on the writer hat right quick.
Right. Okay.
You're writing the plot, Megan Good. What you got?
Oh, you already know. You already know. You have seen my movies. You already know it's got to go down. And I think you already knew the answer to that.
I already knew that. I knew that one. She's single now. She's definitely single now.
Yeah. We about to throw her in like a concealment situation. Enough said. The opening scene, though.
The opening scene. All right, I feel you on that. So, what about Amari? What Amari would do? If you're writing it, what would you have him do?
Oh man. I mean, I hate to like, you know what? We gonna go to the situation I just talked about. He gonna be like my boss. He gonna be the detective, and he like the boss.
Wow, that'd be dope.
There we go.
That would be dope right there.
I could definitely see him.
Yeah,
in that. Yeah,
and that's the thing. It's like the way you're going. It's like, it's gonna happen, but it's like at the same time, it's like as you're growing, the cast is growing and stuff like that. They're getting experience, so you never know. It's like, you might have the next Omari or the next such and such. They don't even have to be the next somebody. The first,
they them. I tell them that all the time. I'm like, you are a star. What do you mean?
Right.
It's like, we're up next. I'm like, you're up now. You don't understand how great you are. Like, that's how I talk to them. Like, they'll tell you that. Like, you're right, and I genuinely mean that. Like, I don't be. Man, everybody I work with, I feel so blessed to work with them, and they're all like stars to me. Like, like so blessed to have their talents, and they're amazing. And I tell them that all the time. And I tell anybody. I think I'm a bigger fan of theirs than I am myself, and I love myself. Right. So that just goes to show. Yeah,
that much more. And that's the thing, because like as you see the films, it's like you get sucked in. It's like you get connected to the character. Like, boom. So now you feel like you know them. So it's like, so to see that, it's like, okay, boom, now you feel a connection. So it's like they continue to work and they continue to grow. It's like the fans connect to them now. Not only are they supporting you, they're supporting the cast, the actors and stuff like that. So it's like we get to grow with them, and that's dope as well. It's like, and then you may see familiar faces. They may play different roles, but it's like now you get to see their range.
Exactly.
So did you know, let me ask, because it's almost like, it's bigger than just film, because it's like you're developing, you're building, like, it's like almost like development.
Right.
That makes sense. So it's like, and now you're giving them these different roles, and they're showing their different versatility and stuff like that. They're expanding, And it's like, yo, it's a commodity now, because like now they have a resume. Yo, I was in a sexy role. I was in a serious role. I was in a comedy, you know, and stuff like that. So it's like, was that by design when you first started? It was.
It is, because and I tell them that all the time, because there's even been situations where I've been sometimes, but they're like, I have a film coming up and they're like, I want to play that role. I'm like, well, I kind of don't want people to think that's all I do with you, so I need you to do this time.
Right.
Like, I want them to know that I don't just call you for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's always been a goal of mine. I tell them, like, you know, I want to make you like a household name, like part of the team. Like, you know, like I want to keep using you, your face keep popping up, and like you said, like show their range or whatever.
Right.
I mean, naturally, you know, certain people, they might do a certain thing really well, so they might do it more than once. Like they might play a sexy role more than once, or they might play a cop more than once because they just do it very well and it just fits.
Right.
However, but if I can, you know, switch it around, I like to do that as well.
Okay. So let's ask, you had the budget, right?
Yeah.
Got the land, 30 acres. Your production, this is your production studio.
Okay.
What do you got in there? 30 acres. What you gonna put on?
Man, look, we need one building, right, with just bedrooms.
Right.
We use them a lot.
Right.
We need one building with bedrooms and showers. And then we need, you know, police station, jail, hospital, all the different sets that, because I just been thinking about all these things, so it's easy for me to answer this question, like some of the new stuff I want to do.
Right.
Hospital, police station, restaurant, at airport.
Wow.
You know, like all these different sets, you know, have all these different locations, so we can just shoot right there and don't have to worry about on location.
Wow. So it's almost like a city in a city.
Yeah. There we go. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, because we need some outside stuff. We need like some alleys. We need like gas station. Yeah, wow. Basically a little city, like a model of a city.
Right.
Shoot all around that bad boy.
Yeah.
I like to, like, you know, be close to location. I have to travel 45 minutes.
Right. And that's the thing. The way you head it can happen.
Definitely. I definitely see a studio in the future for sure. Like, that's definitely one of the goals.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. So, all right, down the road, let's say your 10-year goal. Like, what's some things that you want to tap into that you may have not done already?
I mean, honestly, I feel that the same thing that we're doing, but it's kind of like you said, the same movies, but just bigger budgets and just like really polishing up the foundation of what we already been doing. If that makes sense. Because I mean, I feel that we're doing it. It might be on a smaller scale. It's just basically just scaling up.
Right.
From
You're already doing it. You're doing it. And that's the thing. And it competes. It's like I said, like it stands out because, like, yo, even with what you're doing, the resources you have, it looks the same. It's like, it's not like a drop. Like we were talking about earlier with like some stuff like, well, if they had the budget, now you got to pretend, well, you know, with that, it's like catches you in and you see it and it's like, yo, this dope. And it's like, not only is it dope, it's like, yo, with the resources you have, you're making it work.
Right.
And then they're getting better. They're getting better every time. So it's like, you can only go up from here. And it's like, again, it's like polishing. It's like, yo, you're already putting in the work. And the thing is, it's like, yo, you have a resume behind it of good work to stand on. So when people think of Nelson J. Davis, what do you want them to come? What do you want to come to their mind when they think of Nelson J. Davis as a writer? We're going to break it down as each one, but as a writer, when people think of Nelson J. Davis, the writer, what do you want them to come across in their mind?
Man, I know that movie going to have a crazy plot twist.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's kind of like your niche, the plot twist. It's like, and that's dope. And you definitely got that. When it comes to Nelson J. Davis, the actor, what do you want to come to people's mind?
Man, I know he about to kill that part.
Right.
Oh, he about to kill it. They say something a little different right now, but it's okay. I've seen a few things more than once, so they saying something different right now, but I'm cool with that. But like he kill that role. Like, I know it's about to be good.
It's about to go down.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah. All right. As the filmmaker,
I think it's kind of similar to what I want them to say about me as a writer too. Like, I know, well, you know what? I know this movie is gonna be amazing. There we go. Cover the whole thing. I know this movie is gonna be amazing. That's what I want them to say.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. So, all right, let me ask: being an actor, people seeing you on the cameras, what's a misconception people may have about you?
Oh, that they a lot of people, they think I'm a lot like the characters, which must mean I'm doing a good job though.
Right.
I guess, but I get that a lot. They be like, "You probably like that in real life." I'm like, no, I'm really not. Like, I'm total opposite of a lot of the characters that I portray. Like, I'm really just, to be honest, I'm just like laid back, chill, the quiet guy. Like, I'm not like, I don't have to be like the life of the party, or I'm not a player.
Right.
I don't women bad, none of those things. But I will say this is a real misconception though. Right. I probably shouldn't say this. Probably should just let everybody go there. Everybody thinks I'm like 6'2".
You do look tall. You do.
Everybody thinks that, and then when they see me, they be like, "Yo, you know, you look just like you do on in Catfish. You look just like that. You just shorter." I get it all the time. It never happens. It never fails.
Wow. So they think you're taller than you actually are.
Yeah. So that's a real misconception for real.
Yeah.
And I'll ask them that. They're like, "How tall are you?" And I'm like, "How tall do you think I am?" First, I'm gonna tell you the answer, but I'm like, "How tall?" They be like, "You know, you gotta be like 6 foot 6'2". I'm like, yo.
What is it? The angles? How you doing that? How you pulling it off?
I mean, I think it's the angles, and I think just staying slim makes you look taller too.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I ain't mad at it, but
right.
I mean, I'm not a midget or nothing. I'm like 5'8", but everybody thinks I'm like 6'2".
Okay. 5'8", that's good. Yeah, you taller than me. I'm about 5'5", 5'6".
Really? See, I thought you was taller than me. So you just
I'm sitting up in the seat. Yo, but that's a fact right there, yo. And I definitely, like I said, I'm a fan of your work. I'm definitely excited about what you're doing and where you're going. Big salute. And the fact that you representing Carolina and putting people on, that's even more of a blessing. And it's like, so as you win, it's like you're bringing other people with you and they're winning. So I know that's a great feeling right there. And I know the sky's the limit. You're just going to keep pushing the envelope. And again, you're doing things that people dream about. Did you ever think back then? And I know you still got a long way to go, but did you ever see yourself where you are today back then?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Like I said, I might be a little bit further sooner than I thought, but I definitely have seen myself like where I am now. Definitely. Right. And I think that's what it's all about. You got to visualize and manifest. So, I mean, I honestly can say that. And I'm saying that as humble as I can. I definitely saw it, and I'm appreciative. But I saw it.
Right.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They say if you believe it, you can achieve it. So it's like that confidence, having it, like seeing it. But let me ask, because I know the way life works.
Right.
It's like we see the final goal, but we got obstacles. We got, we got resistance. How did you stay focused during them times? And what kept you going? Because sometimes people may start off strong. They may hit a bump. They may hit an obstacle. And it's like now they, work, life, things happen, death, health issues.
Definitely.
How did you keep going and what kept you focused?
Honestly, I think just having like that, I've been blessed to have like a very strong support team, like my family, like they also my mom, one of my biggest cheerleaders, my sister, my brother, like this is my family, niece and nephews.
Right.
It's just kind of like, that support, man, honestly.
Yeah, that's a fact right there, yo. And again, I appreciate you for coming up. You got any shout outs or anything that we might have missed so far?
Oh, man, I ain't even about to do the shout outs. I done got in trouble. Because this is so many people. Just big ups to the whole team, big ups to all my family. I'm gonna make general statements because I got in trouble. Like, oh, you said such and such, you didn't say me.
Right. Play it safe. But, right.
Yeah. But no, man, I shout outs to you for allowing me on your platform. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed this a lot.
Right.
And, I appreciate it, man. For real. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm a fan. Love, like I said, I've checked out your show before.
Right.
So it's dope to actually be up here talking with you, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, I definitely appreciate you, and it's an honor. And down the road, bro, we talked about it when we set this one up. So anytime you need to come back up here, you got something you want to put to the world, we want to present anything, or even an update. Okay. You're always welcome here, bro. Your family here. I'm definitely rooting for you. Definitely, cheering you on, because like I said, it's like, I see the passion. I see the hunger. You're putting in the work, and not only are you putting in the work, you're putting out good work. You're putting out quality. So if I could tell you anything, that's like if I could meet anybody that was like a celebrity, or I'm watching you on TV, now I have that conversation with you, I want to say, bro, keep doing what you're doing. You're inspiring people, because like before you, I never knew that it was films being productions on this scale in North Carolina. So it's like, again, to see people that I know, people that I love in your films, and it's like, yo, boom, oh, that's my people's. Yo, right. He did that. That's even like a more like, yo, he's all right with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's right. Bro, it's love, yo. You always welcome here. Yo, keep going. And it's like, yo, don't let the distractions come. Stay focused on your goals and your dreams, bro. And I know I can see you bigger than Hollywood, bro. And it's like, yo, you paving your way, you're staying consistent, and you're doing it your way. You're not compromising. You're not doing it, trying to take the shortcuts. You're staying true to you, and you're building a strong team and a family, bro. And I honor that, and I admire that about you, yo. So I'll just say, yo, keep going, bro, and just keep going hard. And it's like, yo, you got a fan in me. So every time you drop something, it's like, yo, I'm gonna definitely be checking it out, and I'm gonna be telling people, yo, have you seen this? Because I believe in what you're doing, bro, and it's all love over here.
Appreciate it, bro. It means a lot. I appreciate you so much, man, for real.
Yo, that's a fact right there, yo. And I want to thank everybody that tuned in, whether they watched the live or they watched the playback. Yo, this was an exclusive interview with the filmmaker, the writer, the actor, and director, Nelson J. Davis. Show. Again, you can go on Tubi. You can type in his name, Nelson J. Davis, and his work, it'll pop down. It's like, yo, I can't even count how many movies you have on Tubi. If you could guesstimate, how many movies do you think you have right now on Tubi?
Oh shoot, I think I want to say it's like 12 or 13 that actually come up with my name that I'm top building, but it's probably like at least probably like 6, 7 more even that don't even come up with my name, but my face is in there. Yeah. But probably a cool like 12, I think, that I'm leading, that I'm top building, like out of the first 4 people's names,
right?
I think, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So again, y'all be sure to support. They can follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, please follow me on Instagram. That's my favorite platform, at Nelson J. Davis. You can also follow me on Twitter, and I have a Facebook page, Nelson J. Davis, as well. But Instagram, to be honest, is my favorite platform. So if you want to hit me up on the gram.
That'll work right there. So upcoming projects dropping rest of the year. What you got planned for the rest of this year?
Oh man, okay. So we got Non-Disclosure coming out on Tubi February 1st. He Say She Say will be on Tubi probably within the next couple of weeks. It'll be live on Tubi. Next month we have Forbidden Fruit Part 2 coming out. Part 1 is out right now, and the sequel comes out in March.
Okay.
I know I have at least 4 more other movies coming, but I don't have solid dates yet. But it is at least 4 more coming before June, or between now and June.
Yeah, that's a bet. So let's plan like down the road, maybe mid-quarter, halftime, in the situation. Yeah, if you want to come back, we'll do a part 2 and we'll keep it going. Yo, and I definitely, again, appreciate you. I'm going to let you close us out. You can sign us off, yo. I'm pretty sure you do this all the time, yo. So, again, yo, we celebrating you, giving you your flowers, yo, from one black man to another. Yo, job well done. Yo, I'm proud of you as a black man. Yo, keep working. Keep going higher, bro. And it's all love. Salute to you. And I'm going to let you close this out.
I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Big ups to my guy, and I can't wait for part 2. And y'all tune into the show, to the next episode too. When's the next one? Because I want to make sure I tune
got
in.
one on Monday the 31st. We got Monday.
Tune in Monday the 31st because I'll be tuning in.
Yo, that's a fact.
So, but yeah, y'all have a good night.
Yo, salute. God bless everybody. Have a positive week, yo. All right, salute, Nelson.
All right, you too, bro. All right.
All right.